will be alongside him, Tristan Pinar on the BMW, and then Kewan Sneyman on his Fireblade, the Missile Motorcycles machine. Jason Lineker, going to be Ronald Slammett and David Endicott, the two Masters section runners as well. And, well, like I said as well, they will be joining him over there. David Endicott on the ZX-10RR, the Ravenel Motorwise Motorcycles machine. And then the Red Baron himself, all the way from Namibia, but a proud Cape Townian and a proud South African as he is.
I'm super excited for this, Byron. I missed out the first one because I had some prize-giving duties for the other bike classes. And I missed out on a horrendous accident for Gerard Frey, unfortunately. Last I checked, he was okay. I don't have full details. I'm sure he was taken to a medical center. And I'm assuming one fairly nearby. And I'm sure we will hear tonight at prize giving on his condition. But I hope all the best for him and his team. Because that was a flippin' scary moment. I can't lie to you. I've never seen a bike go end over end like that before and so quickly. But that was race 1. We have to move on to race 2 now, and 2 practice laps, or 2 warm-up laps, I should say, do these gentlemen get, just to heat up the tires a little bit more, get the brakes bedded in, get the riders bedded in, and then we'll be underway for the last bike race of the day.
Of course, sponsored by Seal Pro Winelands, and 9 racing laps lie ahead, as I say as well, a complement of 9 Superbikes. So we have then the 600's, 3 of them, and the Hunter on the number 37, Mike Hunter, on the ZX6R. That will be on pole position. Then Lubabalo Ntisana, 3rd. On the Honda CBR 600, the LB Auto machine, and Kiana Strode on his Kawasaki Ninja, that's 2nd as far as he is concerned, and will be on the next row from Hunter. Hunter will be sharing that, well, the first row, sorry, he's on the second, the right row. But Van Niekerk, of course, Project 60 SA is the man who starts on pole position, and that, of course, is the ZX-10.
Byron, I hate to jump in the middle of nowhere, but if you look down pit lane, we've got a wild animal close to the circuit.
Hey, the dinosaur. Now that's what I'm talking about. Just if there's a pool nearby, don't fall into it.
I believe, from if I am correct, that is Mr. Dylan Anderson. After winning, or after taking first place for the day in Clubman's, he said if he can get better than a 1:18.9, or if he can break into the 18s on this new bike of his, he'll run around with a dinosaur suit, and he's stuck to his promise. And I wonder if it's going to distract any of these riders now.
I hope you put plenty of antiperspirant on, because you get quite hot under that in that costume. But ready to go, it is the Wayward and Project 60 SA Slade Van Niekerk machine, the 50 of Tristan Pinar, alongside him the BMW, and then the Fireblade in the top there, of course, as I say, Kewan Sneyman, also another Fireblade up at the top, the RST Missile Motorcycles machine. Jason Lineker will be ready to go, and we are just still waiting. A very
no, I see no Brad Bodsworth, and I see no Quinton Weening, which is a little bit strange.
It's a bit of a truncated field, Jordan, so less riders than we had earlier on, if my eyes don't deceive me.
Well, we've got one bike out of the mix for sure, and that's Gerard Frey on the 21. And then there's the 85 of Quinton Weening and the 41 of Brad Bodsworth that we don't see out at the moment, which is a bit unusual. But we're going to have to get away with it. The whistle blows, the other bikes didn't make it out in time, and we will have to move on.
It's going to be ready to go, Jordan, as the that's the 1 minute 30-second board. Watch for the 5-second. John Green, get your backside out of the way, because we're going to go racing here, and it's a bit of a funny start. Could that be a jump start for Slade Van Niekerk? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Slade goes to turn 1 first, though.
But right behind him is Ronald Slammett on that 69. He dives straight through the middle of Tristan Pienaar and Kewan Snyman. Excellent start from him, but look at him. Look at him go. There goes Ronald on the inside of Slade van Niekerk, almost. And here comes Kewan Snyman as well. They're going to be side by side or elbow to elbow, knee to knee very, very soon. Check at Kewan Snyman right on the tail end of Ronald Slamet. This bunch of four is going to really pick themselves up now, and they're going to gather together even closer than we're seeing them at this current moment as they make their way down the back straight. This is going to be a game of slipstream galore, Byron.
Yeah, they come through the double apex right-hander, supersidal sweep over there onto the back straight as they then run now. Kewan Snyman up into second position as they charge up now to Pertamina Fastron, turn 5. They'll go their way through there now and come towards the end of the lap. The first of 9 racing laps in this Seal Pro Winelands Superbike class run. Down towards the line they come underneath the city of Cape Town Castrol and Lime Property Management Bridge. Here we go. Let's take a look at the gap. A 1/10 of a second between Van Niekerk and Snyman at this present moment in time.
No, it's very, very close there at the front. But it looks to be the battle between Kewan Snyman and Slade van Niekerk as we saw in the last race. And then it's going to be Ronald Slamet and Tristan Pienaar. Tristan Pienaar very late on the brakes there. He's going to have to hold it around the outside of Ronald Slamet. It's not going to be enough, I don't think, unless the run is very, very perfect. He gets the grip. He will go side by side into the kink, but he has to pull out. If we look as they make their way through interceptor corner, it'll be Slade van Niekerk followed by Kewan Snyman, Ronald Slamet, Tristan Pienaar. Jason Lineker is going to try and go on the inside into turn 4 of David Enticott, and Gerard Visser rounds up that group.
Virtually a class of their own, the top 4 there, and well, we have the 5th place will be Tristan Pienaar, David Enticott right behind him. Movements trying to be made over here as well. I think it's not Enticott, it's Lineker and Gerard Visser that are in that little group behind them at the moment, jostling for position. But here we are now going to the completion of that second lap. Side by side, it's going to be Kewan Snyman that takes the lead of this race and the fastest lap of a 1:13.110, but he relents the lead and back to Slade van Niekerk through turn 1 there, Jordan.
Oh, watch these two. They're going to go neck to neck. They are at each other's throats.
Really?
But they love each other to the bits. They know what each other are capable of, but putting themselves on the track in this kind of manner it's completely different when the visor goes down, Byron. But we see Kewan Snyman still on the tail. He's got his best run, will be out of turn 4 down the back straight or out of turn 5 down the main straight, unless he can dive up and he gets the opportunity to. As in, I say now, he almost does coming into Sarl Sweep, but he will back out and try and get the better run to take more slipstream down the back straight. We'll see them leave that Sarl Sweep, and look at him go around the outside. That means he will take the outside line into turn 5, which might not be the most ideal, but you might get a better turn in and exit out of 5.
Well, Slade van Niekerk for now keeps the lead. This is allowing Tristan Pienaar to close up the gap to them. He was a second off the last time around. He might have just closed up ever so slightly. They're leaving Ronald Slamet behind. Down towards now turn 1 on the inside. Puts the leg out, puts the foot out. Kewan Snyman takes the lead right back, but you'll always see that second phase of the corner. He won't make it work this time, Slade van Niekerk. And onto the back straight now, the Joubert straight they run into Castrol corner.
These two have my gooses in bumps. I mean, my skin in goosebumps as they make their way out of Castrol corner and into the kink and into interceptor corner. But Kewan Snyman jumps Slade van Niekerk now, and he leads this race. And look at that gap now that Kewan Snyman has taken into turn 4.
Look at Tristan Pienaar. He's actually closed up to Slade van Niekerk, Jordan. They come out of turn 4 now. He's visibly closer as they go and run it down to turn 5. The gap they have left behind them, Ronald Slamet. Then after Ronald Slamet is Jason Lineker. David Enticott is holding Gerard Visser at bay at the moment. Other way around, my apologies. And yeah, Visser did pass him, and then we start having the likes of the 600s coming up. Mike Hunter leads that 600 race at the moment.
I'm pretty sure Slade van Niekerk's going to be a bit upset after he lost a little bit of time coming out of Castrol corner. But Kewan Snyman has all that twist of the throttle under his wrist, and all he has to do is keep Slade van Niekerk at bay.
Another fastest lap there, Jordan, from Q and Sneeman, a 1:12.268 compared to the 1:12.7. So half a second faster on the last lap alone. But watching out how Tristan Pienaar, a 1:12.7 compared to, 1:12.4 compared to the 1:12.7. 3/10 out of Slade van Niekerk as they make their way now towards the turn 4 section.
And I believe that gap's going to grow now between Q and Sneeman and Slade van Niekerk as we watch them go down the back straight. It is widening by a good margin, but we'll have to see as they cross the line now coming into turn 5 per Tamina Fosteron. Slade will try and break as late as he possibly can. You can see that gap close right there, but that doesn't mean he gets the better exit. They take the V line, which is cut it in tight, take a slightly slower line, and then straight line it out of the corner to get as much speed as possible. And crossing the line now, not a faster lap, but a 1:12.33. Crossing the line now, Ronald Slammert. And on his tail, Jason Lineker. I want to see Jason Lineker get a little bit closer. And here comes Gerrit Visser and Dave Entercott rounding out those guys on this lap.
Yeah, Mike Hunter will be the next man, of course, but we now go towards turn 2 now. And just taking a look at it, Slade van Niekerk put in a personal best of a 1:12.6 on the last lap, but 0.3 of a second slower than Q and Sneeman on that last lap there. So yeah, they go through Interceptor now. Will open up onto the the old Tigerberg Straight or BP Straight, whichever way you wanted to call it in the old days. But now towards turn 4, once again, saddle sweep, and they'll make it work around there. 0.7 of a second the last time. Sneeman and van Niekerk were between each other, keeping them in sight on 0.8 of a second. It is Tristan Pienaar.
I see that Kiana Strode has pulled out of this race. I saw them wheeling it down the pit lane. Very unfortunate for that class, but he'll be out of it. But we look back to the front. Look at that gap now again, Byron. Slade's found a little bit in him. And maybe, just maybe, he's loosening up a bit more and he's getting a bit more confident after that first lap incident. Or that, sorry, a few laps ago incident.
Fastest lap for Slade van Niekerk, a 1:12.1 for him, compared there to a 1:12.2, a 1/10 of a second out on this last lap.
It's very, very close. But we have to wait and see with 3 laps to go, just under 3 laps to go. Slade van Niekerk has the chance to gain back a little bit of time. I mean, the field's not big enough to have any back markers, and they all have good pace, so they won't catch up to the back markers. But we'll see now as they make their way through Interceptor Corner and down the Tigerberg Straight once again. I don't know what the gap is that slipstream becomes an effective maneuver, but we'll watch and see if Slade does get some sort of tow out of turn 4.
No.
And I think that is too far, Byron. But we'll have to see how late he breaks into 5.
I think he's responded as well to the challenge of Slade van Niekerk has Q and Sneeman, and a change has, well, not quite yet. It's Tristan Pienaar versus Ronald Slammert. Ronald Slammert has closed up the gap. Sorry? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Jason Lineker, my apologies, and Ronald Slammert as they come towards the line now. Another fastest lap from Slade van Niekerk, a 1:12.120, just a smidgen faster than what he was. And what happens is a 1:12.2 for Q and Sneeman. 2 laps left to go, including this one.
Yeah, so Jason Lineker did pass Ronald Slammert on that lap. Gerrit Visser and David Endicott still fighting it out at the back of that. But we look now into Castro Corner. We watch as they come in. That's Tristan Pienaar. That's Jason Lineker and Ronald Slammert now fighting once again. Yep. I think Ronald's not going to let that youngster by, and he wants to get back onto the tail end of him once again as they make their way out of Castro through the kink and into Interceptor. As the leaders make their way onto the back straight now. Slade is that little bit faster than he was the previous lap, but we'll have to see what the lap time looks like with the 1 lap to go coming up.
Yeah, just this little bit and the next lap to go. So I don't think they'll be very much in danger of encountering any more back markers. Coming across the line, Wesley Hendricks now is the last of the riders. Kiana Strode was second in his class. And now the only 600 left in this race is Hunter Arons leads the Superbike Challenge ahead of Frost and Wesley Hendricks. As I said, he rounds everything off. Q and Sneeman has responded, a 1:12.0 for him, 0.2 of a second faster than Slade van Niekerk as they now make their way through turn 2 now, Castro Corner for the last time in the bike races today.
Slade, the wild child, is going to have to pull off something miraculous, but the gap is gaining a little bit more than we wanted to if this battle wants to lead right to the end as they make their way through Interceptor Corner now. There has to be this must be within the slipstream gap, Byron, as they make their way through. Who's going to take this corner faster this time around? And then it's going to be who's later on the brakes. Look how close that is. Byron, they make their way down, tucking as tight as you can to be as aerodynamic as possible. We'll see how late Slade will brake. Look at that, he dives up the inside, super late.
Wow.
Oh, they're going to go side by side, elbows up. Maybe even Slade touching Kewen's knee. But now it's going to be the stretch to the line, and Kewen will be on his tail. They'll be up against the wall. The back marker's in the way. They make past. Coming to the line. I can't even tell you. I can't. Oh! 0.001 to Slade for Nikak. That to me is the closest finish I've ever seen. Look at them right there. Brilliant, brilliant stuff as Tristan Pinot crosses the line. Jason Lineker now crossing the line. Here comes Ronald Slammer to round up the top 5. Gerrit Visser ahead of David Enticott. Then we wait for Mike Hunter, Wayne Arendse, and Daniel Frost. Wesley Hendricks has crossed the line. I'm in a bit of disarray at the moment. My blood pressure is high. My heart rate is beating at an unbelievable rate. Wow.
Man, oh man, a 1:11.738 was that fastest lap on the last lap. And let me tell you one thing, that was a half a second faster than Kewen Snyman was, but it was 0.001. 1/1000th of a second between them as they crossed the line. My goodness, that's it's unexplainable. I'm telling you, it's amazing racing this. And well,
in the words of Frankie Innes, if he had less tire wear on the front wheel, he would have actually won the race.
But if you think about that, at 1/1000th of a second, and they're doing 260 down